we have a great school district, and we've been very successful in the past, and our goal is to be very successful in the future. Hopefully we're going to make the next 15 years, which is at least how long I would love to be here in this role, like he was here for 15 years, as successful or more successful than the past 15 years. Now, we can't do things exactly like we did 15 years ago to be successful 15 years from now. So there'll be some natural evolution as the district changes, as we continue to grow, or the state changes standards. So you're going to see a natural evolution. But what I don't think you'll see any change in is the heart of our school district. We pride ourselves on being a family. Even though we're big, it's a really big family now, we try to treat Conroe ISD as a small district. I want to know all of our campuses. I want to be able to walk into those buildings and have everyone know me. And Dr. Stockton did a fantastic job of that, and I don't want that to change. The immediate goal is to just have as smooth a transition as possible. For our folks that are in the buildings every day teaching children, I hope that their day-to-day feels exactly like it did last year. I grew up in a little town in northeast Houston, a little community called Sheldon. Sheldon ISD was a school district. It's a one high school little town over by Crosby and North Shore and Channelview. My high school that I went to was C.E. King High School. So I was the only child of two educators. My dad was actually my junior high principal. That was a fun experience. And it really wasn't that bad because everybody loved my dad, but I had that experience, and I went to the University of Houston for my undergraduate work, and then went on to the University of Florida for my master's work. And it was an athletic training, so sports medicine was my emphasis in my master's degree, and we spent a lot of years, or 2 years there, working with the University of Florida football team, and traveled all around the Southeast and with them. And in between my undergraduate and my master's, I actually got married to my high school sweetheart, and so we kind of made an agreement that we would go to Florida for 2 years, and then we would come back to Houston, and we'd have what we called a normal job, and live close to home. And so we came back, and I was fortunate enough to get a position at the Woodlands High School as an athletic trainer, and that started my career here in Conroe ISD. So my second year teaching, was an athletic trainer and teacher there, and Dr. Stockton and I ended up, I think we were actually in Austin at some event, like state championship event or whatever. We ended up spending most of the day together, hanging out. He was there as the principal, I was there as the trainer. We were watching our kids compete. I think it was state wrestling and state swimming, and we spent the whole day sort of with each other, and we ended up at dinner. At dinner, he said, "Well, have you ever thought about being an administrator?" No, never had this had not crossed my mind. In fact, if anything, I would have probably been pushing against it just because I wasn't going to be exactly like my dad. And he said, "Well, I really think that you should consider it. I think you do well. You need to think about going back and getting your principal certification." And so luckily I wasn't too hard-headed to listen and receive that message, and I gave it some thought and talked it over with my wife, and ended up choosing that path. So I started the next year, I started my administrative certification, my principal certification, and spent one more year there at the Woodlands High School as athletic trainer, and then moved to Knox Junior High as an assistant principal right after that. From probably 5th grade on, and I wanted to be a pharmacist. I don't really know why I chose that, other than I do like science and math, but that was just my path. And so I chose the University of Houston based on their pharmacy school, and that's exactly what I wanted to be. I knew it for sure, and because people had asked me all my life, growing up as the child of two educators, are you going to be a teacher like your parents? Are you going to be an administrator like your dad? Are you going to be a principal? And no, never. And I'm sure that was just hard-headedness of a young man to not have an open mind to that, but I absolutely wouldn't consider it. And so when I went to the University of Houston, luckily enough, my first year, I got a job in a pharmacy working as a pharmacy tech, and it didn't take me very long to realize that was not the right job for me. It was a great profession, and we're lucky that we have so many great people that fill that position, but it was not one for me. And so I kind of stopped and reevaluated everything in my life, thinking, well, what is for me? And it was obvious for me. I was fighting it, but it was obvious that education was the route that I wanted to go. And as a teacher, I might have impacted 150 students every day. When I became a high school principal, for example, I could impact 4,000 kids every day. And in these positions, it's 60,000 students a day. And so you just really have to refocus of how you make a difference. But if your heart is always being led to serve other people, I think it's what makes you feel comfortable in knowing that you're making a difference.